What's up, front seat? Sean Provencher here. I'm here with Brittany Howard. Say hello.
Hi, y'all.
Brittany Howard is a rock star agent. Tell us where you're from and how long you've been in the business.
Sure, I am from Denham Springs, Louisiana. It's a small city outside of Baton Rouge. I have been an agent for almost 23 months on the dot. And that's a very important number because I have to count because I have personal goals that I want to hit before 24 months. So there you go.
One thing you're about to learn about Brittany is she knows her numbers inside and out. So 21 months, I'm sure she could tell you how many days were left before she hits 22. But before we get into that...
37. It's okay.
Nailed it. She's a hoot, by the way. So before we get started, tell me a little bit about what you did before this.
Before I became a real estate agent, I co-owned a paint company with my best friend. It's going to sound weird, but the women out there know what I'm talking about. I made chalk finish paint. And basically, I was on Pinterest one day going, oh my God, I think this will be fun. I was a stay-at-home mom. So we started making the paint. One day we got a call from someone who said, hey, I want 6 jars. We were like, I don't know if it's good enough to sell. Okay, we'll sell 6 jars. We put it on a Facebook group, and first day we sold like 52 jars. So it's pretty cool, pretty fun experience.
Awesome. So, and how long did you do that?
I think we had the paint company for maybe 2 years, 18 months, maybe 20 months or so before I transferred over and went full-time real estate.
Okay.
And I'm just going to look at you because that's weird.
No problem. We're checking out. No, just kidding. Okay, so you've been running a paint company for 2 years, and what happened? You walked through an open house, you had a friend talk to you or something?
One of my friends told me, hey, I think you'll be good at real estate. And I was like, everybody's a real estate agent. I don't know what you're talking about.
Everyone is a real estate agent.
Right.
They give it out like
exactly, like candy on Halloween, right?
Yeah.
And so she goes, no, I think you'll be good. And I was like, I think not. And she goes, well, I made $25,000. No, she goes, I sold $1 million last month. And I said, I don't know what that means. She goes, that means I made $25,000 last month. I know, and I was like, where do I sign up? And so I signed up for an online class. It was a 30-day class. I finished in 7 days. I took my test, finished my test, passed the test the first time, and that was March 19th. April 4th, I think, I had my first contract.
Wow.
Well, I wanted to make $25,000 in a month, so I was like, okay, I'll do that.
Right on. Where did you get your first client? How did that even happen so fast?
A first client for me was Sphere of Influence. I kind of posted, and I just started posting about houses. And I signed up for Zillow April 8th, and second client was Zillow.
Okay.
So I got really good at converting. I hear talk that, oh, no, Zillow's bad. Oh, this is good. This is this. This is that. For me, Zillow's been bread and butter, so.
Hey, you know what? If you know how to make something out of something, I think a big part of the problem with Zillow is if you look at the averages, it looks terrible. But the truth is, if you look at any averages in real estate, it's pretty bad.
Correct.
The average agent in my market sells 2.7 houses every year.
No, and in mine it's like 10, and last year I did 50. So exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So what was your first year like?
First year, 3 months after, I guess in June or so, I started Commissions Inc. And so that kind of bolstered with Commissions Inc. and Zillow my transactions. So I think by June I closed 3 transactions. I finished the year with 19.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So I had some stellar explosion months, and that was pretty cool. I capped for the first time at my former company for 6 months, and that was awesome.
Awesome.
Basically, I found out about Amanda Thompson-Todd, who's here. She's with Keller Williams now.
Okay.
And she closed like 21 million. I think it was 19 million in 21 months. And I was like, oh,
you're doing a 2.5 multiplication, right? And you're just like, that's a lot of percentage points. What's going on?
I know, and I didn't understand at the time because I was such a new agent, average price points. And so I was like, I'm just going to do what she did. She's going to go, no, it sounds really good. That's a really good goal.
I want that.
Right. And the problem is I was already behind because I found out about her when I was 9 months in. Okay. So I basically had 10 months to do 18 million. And I was like, ooh. But I'm going to try for that one. Didn't quite hit it. I think maybe I'll talk to her when I see her today. But I think maybe I may have beat her in transaction count.
Okay.
Cross your fingers.
Awesome.
I don't know. She's a monster.
Yeah.
But it's all good.
What's your average price point?
It is $200,045 or $198, $145, something like that.
Okay, so right around 200.
Mm-hmm,
okay.
Mm-hmm. So completely different when you're trying to do 21 million with that.
That's a lot of transactions.
That's a lot of houses. Yeah.
That's a lot of houses. Yeah. Absolutely. So what happened next? You bounced around a little bit. I know that you changed brokerages a couple times. You were really interested in teams. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So in August, well, I guess we'll go back to May. In May, I hired my first buyer's agent.
So how many months had you been in business at this point?
15.
15 months in the business, and you hired your first buyers. That's well ahead of schedule,
Well,
by the way.
I had a very good coach, and I'm lucky to rely on people like Tristan to bounce ideas off of, and Nick Baldwin from Lab Coat Agents.
Great.
And so for me, when I hired my first buyer's agent, my vetting process was incorrect, and she should have been vetted a little bit more.
Okay.
She's a great agent, sweet girl, but we weren't a good fit because I like to work and put a high number in, and sometimes people like to work in different ways.
Okay.
I also hired second and third, and then we had an issue at my former company, so I moved on.
Okay.
And then the flood happened.
So what happened to the market in the flood? Because I know that affected you, right?
Sure. Basically, what happened during the Great Flood was, I live in a parish, which is kind of like everybody else's counties. There were 137,000 residents, 131,000 of us flooded.
Wow.
So, and 67% of my business came from this county. So it made me think a little bit differently. Like even now, I just sold a house for $20,000 when my average price point was $200,000. So I've had to kind of expand where I'm looking at, restructure Zillow advertising and my commissions, word phrases, and kind of adapt. Because if you don't adapt, you die. So I was like, well, I'm good at real estate, so I'm going to figure this thing out. And I finished last quarter. I think my GCI was about 53,000, so I must have still sold a couple million or something like that to do that.
Okay. So even through the floods, you were still going?
Yeah, but I didn't hit my goal because of the flood, but it's all good.
That's okay. You know what?
It's all
What's
good.
the saying, excuses or results?
No.
I think we'll give you this one, though.
Well, no, the saying,
how many inches of water were in your house again?
I got 6 inches of water and $100,000 worth of damage.
And you were evacuated.
Yeah, by National Guard. It was pretty scary,
It's hard to sell homes when you're being evacuated by National Guard, right?
But, and it's funny because I got evacuated to one of my listings. I was calling them, are you flooded? And they were like, no. And I was like, I did. And they were like, come to my house. And they were like, if you can get on this side, we'll come get you. And so that's where my family and I went to one of my listings.
That's too funny.
I know,
That's awesome.
It was insane. It was insane. But the saying, can I go here?
Yeah,
Okay.
go for it.
The saying is really, excuses are like assholes. Everybody has one now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's my infamous, that's my new motto, okay?
So the flood's over.
Sure.
And you're moving forward like a
It's
freight
not
train
quite,
now. What's going on?
The flood's not quite over. We're at about, usually most of us are at a year recovery, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, wow. So you still got a little ways to go.
Right. So it's insane. I'm good because I'll be finished probably in the next month or so.
Okay.
But what happens next is I've hired a group of stellar rock star agents. All of them are just phenomenal at what they do. Mikkel's a killer. She'll kill you. Straight jugular, this is what I'm going to do. These are my goals. This is how I'm going to hit it.
Awesome.
Seika is the numbers girl. She just got her bachelor's in accounting and finance. So she's always crunching our numbers and, okay, I think this will be a better way.
She's an agent or
She's an agent.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the second buyer's agent I hired the second time. Natalie freaking rockstar. She's been in the business longer than all of us, a little over 3 years. Today during our team call, she was telling me how she created a spreadsheet to keep on top of the people she'd already contacted. Tiffany is freaking phenomenal. She before she came on the team, she was knocking on doors for 8 hours a day, just hungry. Katrina's another monster. She flooded too, and I think she got 4 feet. She lost everything in the flood, except her tenacity. So for her, it's more like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. My admin keeps me in check, and from being mean to people. Didn't work Friday, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Right.
So I have a team of the best agents, the most stellar and innovative agents. We're not the people who will go, reach out to your sphere and do that. That's not how we live. That's not, in my opinion, the future of real estate. The future is psychographics. And
what is that?
It's sexy. So psychographics is kind of like how to predict people's future actions. The crystal ball that we all look for in real estate.
Right. They've been talking about this with
the Brexit exit.
Yeah.
Right. And even the Trump victory was predicted by a company in Great Britain with psychographics. Travis Tom is like a freaking monster with it. We geeked out for an hour. He's with Elevated Real Estate Marketing.
Cool.
So I'm extremely interested in psychographics because I think it makes sense to me.
Well, and your lead generation model is really focused on
Correct.
aligning yourself with aggregate companies and
Right.
web lead providers and stuff
Correct.
like that.
And I've started shifting a little bit, going into companies that are more interested in the psychographics, because I believe
You think it's the future?
Right, and really, you know, if you can predict when somebody's going to move, then that's the people. Like even Facebook targeting right now, you can say most likely to move. That's impressive. Like
That
that's
is really cool.
Like that gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Make my job easy.
I know, it's like, ooh.
So hold on though, I want to back up a little bit. You've got a business that's been around for less than 2 years, and you just listed off a whole bunch of names of people who work for you.
Well, yeah.
What's going on? You got how many agents?
5.
5 agents.
Yes.
How many admins?
1 admin and a transaction coordinator who is coming in within the next week or so.
Okay. So how the heck did that happen so fast?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Well,
You're just magnetic.
Well, no, what happened was, I believe, you know, in the law of attraction, if you put out the good energy comes back to you. And so I think the universe knew that I needed help. I mean, I was drowning in leads, which sounds like really crazy until you're there. And you have 150 leads and you're up 18 hours a day and still waking up out of your sleep to do something else, you know, with a transaction. So you lose your life with that, which is phenomenal. You know, I made a great amount of money, but it was like, this is not worth it like this. And people were coming to me and asking me questions, you know, like, how did you do this? How can I help? You know, how is this? How is that? And so for me, I believe in giving back, because every time I give back, I get back like 100-fold. So.
There's a great saying about that.
I know.
Zig Ziglar, you'll get everything you want in life if you spend your time giving as much as you can to other people.
Right.
Or something along those lines. I butchered it, but I love that quote.
No, me too.
I was talking with my coach about it the other day.
Right.
So, so most of the people on your team came to you?
Yes, inadvertently, and then one person, I coach with Clubwell, so she had a coaching call with my coach, and he said, I think I just hired your new buyer's agent. And I was like, oh, that's great, okay. So,
I could use that.
Yeah, you know, I roll with the punches, and it's been different for me because I'm just kind of accustomed to how I work, which is balls to the wall all the time. I don't stop.
Awesome.
And I have to understand that everybody's thermometer isn't what mine is. Like, my thermometer is like $25,000 per month because that's what I was told when I started real estate. And other people's are slightly different. So I've grown in.
How do you dial that back without, you know, because it's tough because you want to have standards for your team,
right.
But you also don't want to be like the maniac whipping slave driver, you know, just pushing too hard. So what do you do?
So recently with Commissions Inc., it's also a CRM. I can tell how many dials they made, and I just simply ask them, how many calls do you need to make to be successful? I need 50. Can you make 3? And they were like, well, I'm not going to be successful making 3. I mean, you could be, but you're not going to hit the numbers you wanted to hit. That 6-figure income is not going to be there. Right. And so after that, you know, we simply talked. I was probably harder on them than I should have been.
Okay.
And then I talked to another buyer's agent who's phenomenal and, you know, part of the #1 team in my marketing. She said, why don't you dial it back a little bit? Set your standards. But don't be crazy, because she was like, I couldn't work for you if you're crazy. This is not who you are. You're like insane. You're a maniac right now. And I was like, okay, you know, let me dial this back. And so I've learned that their thermometers may not be the same as mine. You know, maybe they want to make $5,000 a month.
Okay.
Which is still, you know, phenomenal income.
Still awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was basically, I think what stressed me out is I was thinking in my head, they're not hitting their goals, their children aren't eating. And I internalized that a lot. And then I had to tell them, and they were like, our kids are fine. You're crazy right now. And I was like, no, because everybody depended on me, you know, to do this and to help them achieve everything. So it's super, I'm better now, especially this week about it, now that I've kind of calmed down. I was like, look, you know, whatever y'all want, we have goals set. I would love to help you hit your goals, but the minimum for us is 2 transactions a month. So as long as they're giving me the minimum, I have no issue.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you got all these leads coming in from various sources. Would you say you have a lead problem? You have more leads than you can manage?
I think right now we're dead even.
Awesome.
Like
great place to be.
The round robin. Yesterday I got 8 leads. We have there's 6 of us as agents, and I'm not taking. I try not to work buyers anymore.
Okay.
So slightly, maybe a little bit more. But at the end of the month, they should be finished with about 30 leads, and you need 30 to 50 leads to actually convert and be fine with them. On the listing side, though, I've brought 2 listing services because evidently I just like to torture myself. So I have 400 listing leads on one site, and the other one's probably another 400 or 500.
Wow.
Right, but that's what I like. Like, I like to always.
You want to be going balls to the walls.
Right,
balls to the walls, Brittany.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. So you were talking about conversion rates versus ROI, and I want your perspective, because I think that a lot of people do focus on conversion rates, and I don't think, probably 99.9% of real estate agents don't know what their ROI is. Can you tell us a little bit about why you have this perspective? And
well, for me, and remember, I came from a business background.
Yeah.
So if I spend $1,000 and I make $2,000, that's great. I made
100% profit.
Well, right, 100% profit. So for me in real estate, it was always, okay, if I spend $1,000, how much am I going to make back? You know, it says the average agent converts at 3 to 5. So I think at the beginning, I just didn't understand. I thought 3% meant I needed to make 3 times that. 5% meant I needed to make 5 times that.
Okay.
So I think I was confused in the beginning, and then I started going, well, I've only converted 2 leads, but I spent $1,000 and these 2 leads made me 12. So I don't care about how many I convert. I just care about how much money I'm making back. And right now, on average, I make about $6 for every dollar I spend.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
It
People
used to
shoot
be
for
bad.
10 to 1, but a lot of people don't get it.
Right.
And with aggregates and lead providers, it's very rare to get those kind of numbers.
It should have been better, and I actually need to check my ROI because I think it's actually gone up a little bit in the last month since everybody's, starting to convert.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't understand conversion rates. Like, okay, I have 100 leads, I need to convert 3 of these. Or I guess basically that's 3%, right? Yeah, it is 3 to 5. And I was like, no, I have 100 leads. I spent $1,000. I need to make $10 for every $1,000 I spend. I need a $10,000 month. So.
Okay, awesome. So, how long have you been in business again?
Since March of 2015.
March of 2015. Yeah. It's February 2017, so it's under 2 years.
Just under.
And you're like just steamrolling.
I'm trying, when you have great people who have been in business a short amount of time to emulate, it's like, okay, wait, I want to do what they're doing.
Why would I wait?
Right. And not only that, for Amanda, she was a huge game changer for me. She was a single mom. She'd been in real estate a short amount of time. And she just exploded. And I was like, I want to explode. I want to do that.
I can do that.
Yeah. And so, there was, of course, everybody tells a new agent, oh, you won't close your first deal for for 6 months. Why? I disagree with that. And I guess I closed my first one in 8 weeks. So, and that was before I learned anything about internet leads and any of that great stuff. So.
Wow, wait. So, you must be failing so fast. Like, you're just moving forward. You're like, yep, figured that out. I'm on to the next one. Figured that out. I'm on to the next one. What's your biggest challenge?
For me, slowing down probably.
Okay.
I'm always balls to the wall. I like last week, and my coach will probably see this video, so he's not going to be happy. But last week, I was in the office from 8 a.m. until midnight. In my office, an hour away. Because I refuse to get up until I've done what I said I'm going to do. Because I'm also a procrastinator. So you'll see me.
You don't seem like a procrastinator, so.
Oh, no,
I'm not sure.
In my opinion, I am. I should be doing things right that I'm not doing.
Kids are going to be overachievers.
No, my son is kind of like, whatever, Mom. So, but I'm very consistent too. So last year I just wanted to close one deal a month, and that's all I wanted. I was like, close one deal a month, I'll be great, I'll be golden. I just want to get a paycheck every month, and that's how I've always looked at real estate. I need to get paid and last year I closed 52 deals. I got paid every week, right?
Awesome.
Except I would have never hit the goal I wanted to hit, only closing 52 deals. So I was confused in that, and I didn't understand that when I set my goal. So now I'm more reflective. Like, okay, if I want to hit this unit goal, I need to make this amount of units in a quarter. And right now we are at about 27 closed or in escrow.
Since when? Since
January
1? Okay.
And so we need to have, 23 more to hit 50 by March 31st.
Okay.
Right? March 31st is coming fast. This is February 13th. So it's like I'm talking to...
You're halfway there?
A little more.
Tracking?
I'm tracking, but if we're not putting more in, then we won't hit our goal when we've been promised an office meeting, which is a spot A for everybody. So.
You just described the constant panic of every successful real estate agent.
Is it?
Be like, even when you're on track to hit your goal, you panic because you're like, yeah, but I need